Hi, and welcome back to K-popinions. I'm Belle.
And I'm Millie, and today we're back with another monthly recap episode. We're gonna be talking about Sulky, Treasure, Le Seraphim, Dreamcatcher, Stray Kids, Jin, and many other releases from October.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at K-popinions podcast.
So how has this month in K-pop been for you?
It was an up and down.
Right.
It started well, I think.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the month, I was like, ooh, this is going good.
Yeah.
And then for a while, it sucked. But I think that was also because in the end, it looked better again. But I think that was also because for a while, I didn't have time to check out everything. So I only listened to the title songs, the most important ones, for a while because I was busy and sick. So those mostly sucked. And then at the end of the month, where I went back to check out everything, I realized that even the middle part wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah, no, I kind of had the same feeling, but at the end of the day, I think, or at the end of the month, I guess it wasn't that bad. There's a little bit of everything. There's some great stuff. There's some not so great stuff. And there's a lot of like medium okay things. So like the general impression is kind of medium, but there are some really great things.
Yeah.
It's not a bad month.
It's slightly better than September, but not like July.
Yeah, it's not amazing. It's okay. It's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I have one thing to say, this was the month of really great albums, like well-crafted albums that have a cohesive sound. Because that doesn't happen that much in K-pop. I mean, it does happen, obviously. But sometimes I feel like there's a lot of albums that are just like one really cool title song and then whatever they had in store or whatever.
That's true. That's true, because I have a bunch that we'll talk about where I'm like, yeah, the whole album was really good.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
both really good and just really cohesive. Like, whether you like the songs or not, like that's just something that I noticed that I really like, and I hope that's a trend that's gonna keep going in K-pop. That would be really cool. So we'll see, I guess. Okay, so let's start, I guess, with Sulky's album 28 Reasons.
Yes, let's.
Okay, so I was really worried about this, but I'm really, really happy with this album. I think they kind of oversold it a little, but not on the quality, just the general vibe, because I think the teasers made it look much darker than it ended up being. But I don't mind, because I really like the end result anyway.
But I do feel like it is kind of dark. Like several songs have this creepy vibe, so...
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. It's still dark, but I think the teasers were more intense than what it ended up being. But again, not at all in a negative way. I really, really like this album, and I really like this vibe. I really like that they went with something darker for her. It's really different from Red Velvet and the solo projects and the subunit with Irene. It's really unique and different, and she really, really pulls it off perfectly. I really like it.
Yeah, same. It's not the best album ever, but the style fits her well, and it feels very organic for her.
Yeah.
And it's different and unique and kind of dark, and I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one of the albums that I think are really cohesive.
That's true.
Because all of the songs really fit together.
That's true. And this is already going into the first song a little bit, but what a power move to start the whole album with the line, "I kiss your brother."
Yeah, I know. But actually, what a power move to start the album with almost silence, because it starts with her singing and just a really deep bass, and it's so quiet, and I really like that. I think that's the perfect way to set the tone for the album. Both the song and in the song, that specific moment that's really ominous and weird.
And we are now talking about the song 28 Reasons. Yeah.
Yes.
Just to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, like we said before, it almost has a creepy vibe. You said it's very different from Red Velvet, the album. True, but also this song, to me, almost like fits in the same universe as Psycho by Red Velvet.
Yeah. Well, when I say it's different, I still mean it. To me, it still really fits into their universe in general. But at the same time, they've never done something quite like this. And I wouldn't necessarily see anyone else in the group do exactly that, you know?
Yes, that's true.
But it still fits with Red Velvet.
Yeah, it reminds me of Psycho, just in the in like both style and theme wise.
Yeah, and it's really, they're both really eerie and a little weird and different.
Yeah, and it's very in the tradition of SM solo artists. While being unique, it also, it can definitely stand next to the likes of Taemin and Taeyeon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it gets better the more you play it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because the first time I was like, okay, it's nice. Not the best. And the more I listened to it, I was like, this is so good.
Well, I agree, but for me, even on first listen, I was already really into it, and then I just grew to like it even more. So I agree. Just I started liking it more, I guess.
You started at a higher level.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked it from the first listen.
So I put Dead Man Running on the playlist because I like it a lot. At first, it was my favorite B-side. Now it's my second favorite B-side. But it's, yeah, I know. The bridge is super cool. Again, it has a little bit of a creepy Psycho vibe, which I dig. And like the whole album, it fits her so well. And it's great vocals, and I just enjoy it a lot. But I don't really have much more to say either.
Yeah, well, I really like it too. I really like the drama and intensity.
Yeah.
And this is great at showcasing her voice, because she can absolutely deliver powerful vocals. And so this is a really nice way to both build up on this atmosphere and keep it going, and also showcase her as an artist. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I added Los Angeles to the playlist because this is my favorite B-side on the album. It's just such a cool song.
I absolutely hate it.
Really?
Yeah, it's...
Is it because it has the sound that you...
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, clearly you hate that sound and I love it. But apart from how cool the chorus sounds, I really, really like that, again, it starts off really uncertain and you don't really know where it's gonna go, and it's pretty quiet, and then it kind of flourishes into this awesome, heavy EDM style chorus that I love. So it's kind of a similar idea as 28 Reasons. And also, while Dead Man Running shows her really powerful vocals, here we can hear more of her softer, higher vocals. So again, another way to show her voice and who she is. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, to be honest, because I hate that sound so much, I didn't even bother to listen to the rest of the song. I was just skip. So I can't say much about it.
Yeah, I get that.
But I love Crown. It's my favorite B-side.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's kind of subtle, and at first you could overlook it, but it's so amazing. It's subtle, sensual, ho anthem-y. Again, I could totally hear Taemin sing this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has drama, a beautiful melody in the chorus. It's just amazing. Exactly one of the styles I adore.
Yeah, it feels like dark royalty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it feels really, as you said, really subtle, but at the same time, really luxurious. It feels like dark and sticky, like syrupy, sweet, but in an ominous way, not bright and cute, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, really, really great atmosphere.
Yes.
I still prefer Los Angeles, but this one is right behind. I think I like these more than 28 Reasons.
Ooh. Yeah.
But this one is like 28 Reasons is also right after that, because I really enjoyed this album, basically.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
A great introduction of her as a solo artist.
Yeah, an emphasis on artists, because it feels like a piece of art. And I think she actually made art for the album and had, like, she was a big part of the making of the album.
Okay.
And I watched a few of the videos where she's choosing the songs and recording and everything. And it seems like she had at least some amount of control over what was going on and choice in the matter. So that was cool.
So next we have Treasure's album, The Second Step, Chapter 2. I was so pleasantly surprised by this album. In the last episode, we said we weren't exactly excited about Treasure's new album, just curious. Which is, because in the past, I didn't really care for their music. It was okay. Like, they had some songs that I added to my playlist because they were nice, I guess. But I was never really like, wow. But wow, do I love this album. The album felt a bit like coming home, because out of the, I don't know, like last few months, this felt the most like original K-pop. It's like among all these groups who try to go with the most recent trends and sound very Western and contemporary. With this album, Treasure went for like an unapologetically K-pop sound. And I love that. It's just a full, it doesn't sound outdated at the same time. It's like a full throwback into this is what K-pop sounds like, without trying to be like super edgy or super cool or super dark. And I love the whole album.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if I totally agree. But like in a respectful way.
I hope
there are
so.
a few songs on the album that to me don't really sound like K-pop, like quintessential K-pop.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we don't really listen to the same kind of songs anyway. So
That's
what
true.
K-pop is for you might not be what K-pop is for me. Like, I would maybe not choose the same songs to be representative of K-pop than you would, you know? But I do agree when it comes to the title song, Hello.
Yes.
This is definitely kind of a throwback. It's definitely a more like classic EDM pop fusion that's been done before, but that's fine because it's really well done here. So I'm really, really into this song. It's a banger.
Yeah, it could come straight out of like, I don't know, 2013.
Yeah, but it also doesn't sound outdated, as you said.
No, exactly. It's so fun. It's exactly the kind of fun song that I've been missing lately. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone's trying to be so cool and serious these days, especially in boy bands. I think we've said this before. This kind of B1A4 type of music I was missing. And they brought it back, and I'm so happy. It's so fun, so bright, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's bright, but it still has tension and drama and dynamics and it's just so perfect. It's really amazing. I really, really like it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Volcano is kind of an exception on the album. It's not as much of a throwback. It's a very rock heavy. I like it a lot too. It goes very hard. It stands out on the album as a different kind, obviously. I still fail to read it as volcano though, because
Me too.
every time I'm like, Volcano?
It's even worse for me. I'm like, no? Like,
Oh yeah, because as a German-speaking person, the spelling threw me off. I was like, Volk?
As a French-speaking person, spelling threw me off too.
It took me like 2 listens to realize, oh, it's supposed to be volcano. Okay.
Yeah, it took me more than that. I was like, what the hell is this title? But I guess I wasn't trying very hard because I don't really like the song.
Yeah, it goes hard and it's fun at the same time, but it's not my favorite of the album.
Yeah. But it's weird because as the resident rock enthusiast, I feel like I should like it because it goes so hard.
I expected you to like this.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't hate it, but I can't really explain why I don't like it that much. It just feels really, it goes hard, but that's it. There's nothing else. So I don't know. I like the intensity, but sadly that's about it.
Okay. Well, I like the whole album, so technically I could list every song. But I like Thank You too. Again, it gives me throwback a little in a bit of a different kind. It's less of a dance EDM song than Hello, or more like it's faster and more of like a rock-inspired song. But it's also, it reminds me of older K bands, and I like it a lot.
Yeah. I see that, but to me, it's a soulless version of like the pop rock or pop K rock. It's not horrible, but I don't really feel anything.
Well, but then my favorite B-side is Hold It In, which might be surprising, because the beginning of the song deceives you. You need to listen. I mean, I'm sure you did, but like everyone else, you need to listen up until the chorus at least, because the beginning sounds like a boring hotel lobby song, but then it builds up a little more. The pre-chorus is like, okay, pretty, and then when the chorus hits and the beat hits, it's like, OMG. It reminds me so much of an Infinite song in the chorus.
What?
It's amazing. I love it so much. And yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy for you, but again, it's not horrible. I don't think there were any songs that I just straight up hated on the album, but it does nothing for me.
No, it sounds like the chorus sounds like an Infinite B-side, and I love it.
I definitely don't hear that. Because I love Infinite, and I don't love this.
So yeah, all in all, this album made me super happy. I liked every single song, and it was a breath of fresh K-pop air in the sea of boring songs.
So the next song is really exciting for me because I've been wondering the whole month what you think about it. The next one is Antifragile by Le Seraphim. And please give me your opinion.
Antifragile had the same effect on me as It Is What I Want.
Oh.
As in the first time I listened to it, I was like, oh no. But then already on the second listen, I was like, oh no, I love this.
Okay, so we've had the same experience then. Because I did a total 180 about this song. Because the first time I heard it, I literally just heard the NTTT. And I was like, nope.
I know, right?
Like, nope. And then I kept listening. And I was like, absolutely not. Thank you for confirming my nope. And that's it. But then I kept seeing people really liking it. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give it another try. And it just, like, that second listen, days later, changed my life. And now I am in love with this song.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. So
it's
good.
So addicting.
Yeah. It's so percussive. I really love the Latin beat. And which is not something that I always enjoy, but
yeah, it's not something that usually comes out of your mouth.
No, so I'm really surprised, and it's so full of attitude. Actually, the NTTT part, it really adds to the attitude. Like, they're serving.
Yeah. As I was listening to it again, just before we started recording, I realized I just love every single part. There's no part where I'm like, okay, this is a bit annoying, or they could leave this out. No, like every part is amazing.
Yeah, agreed. It's really so great. And it's really different from Fearless, but it still retains that same, Fearless attitude and confidence. Like they're just so cool and badass, even though they're rookies.
Yeah.
But they're also not like going overboard and going into like YOLO swag badass girl crush thing. So I really love it.
Yeah, and the dance is super fun too.
Oh my god, yes. I always get confused at the lovey dovey part, because I always think that she's saying la vie in French. So the first time I was like, is she gonna rap in French? And now I can and hear it. So.
I also have a misheard lyric later on, but mine is a bit more unfortunate.
Oh no.
But it also has, I forgot to say that, but because I said it had a similar effect on me as It Is What I Want, I think it also has a very similar attitude, and like, I think you'd say cunty attitude.
Yeah, when I said they're serving cunt.
Yeah, and it like the attitude and the tone is very similar. I guess I was destined to like it.
Yes, and you are very right that they are both currently in my cunty playlist. So you know me well.
See?
Congrats.
Let's move on to Apocalypse Follow Us, the new album by Dreamcatcher.
Yes. As always, I was extremely excited because I love Dreamcatcher, and I was gonna say I was not disappointed. Okay, I was disappointed by the album, which to me is their weakest so far. I usually really like their B-sides, and there's nothing on this album that I liked, apart from Vision.
Okay, that's tough.
But I am not disappointed by Vision, which is amazing. It might be the excitement because it's kind of recent still, but this might be one of my favorite Dreamcatcher songs.
Oh.
I really like it. Like, this is it. It's really heavier than most of their Korean songs, I would say, which obviously I enjoy, but it still has really nice melodies and sounds really full. And I really like the chorus is really amazing to me. I really like the really harsh, heavy, and like clipped first part of the chorus, and then the slow, really smooth second part. Or
the chorus really is very heavy, very metal like. I like Vision too. Pretty much everything you said. The chorus is amazing, very metal, amazing guitars, nice rap too.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Right?
I mean, it's not a surprise because Dami's an amazing rapper, and this rap absolutely slaps.
Yeah. And the music video is stunning too, in this post-apocalyptic setting. You know, I'm not as much into Dreamcatcher as you are, or like, I'm not much into them at all. So I don't know much about their lore or storyline, but to me as an outsider, it seems like a perfect continuation of their last comeback. Apocalypse Save Us, was that? And the title song was about like
Maison.
Yes, it was about saving Earth, right?
Yeah.
So now it seems like now Earth is lost and the apocalypse happened and we are fighting to stay alive. So it's a really nice continuation of that.
Yeah, they always do that. They have storylines that last for a few songs. Like the Scream, Boca, and Arai trilogy was their last one, obviously, and now that's a new trilogy. At least I think it's going to be a trilogy. But yes, it is a continuation from Maison.
Yeah, and it's well done because even an outsider can see it. It's not like hidden clues that you have to understand or anything. Yeah.
I feel like both the song and the music video kind of fit or would fit on 80s' last album. With the futuristic dystopian vibe.
True, yeah. While I like Vision a lot and I can appreciate the quality of the song, you know that these very hard rock songs are not ones I listen to a lot, right? Like I really have to be in the mood to just listen to it. Yeah. So my favorite song of the album, I actually do like another song of the album, is Fairy Tale. Because it is softer rock, very catchy, and a beautiful chorus. But yeah, a little more on the softer side. So this is the one I listen to a lot.
Yeah. I like it a little more than I did in the beginning. But to me, because they have more songs that would fit into this style, I think, that I usually really like. But this one, again, feels a little generic and soulless. Like anyone could sing that.
That's true.
But I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty.
Yeah, maybe I see what you mean, because I like it, but maybe like 2 years ago it would have stood out more. But now that it became such a trend, it's not very unique to Dreamcatcher.
Yeah. Let's move on to Maxident by Stray Kids.
Yeah.
Do you have feelings about the album as a whole?
I do have feelings that they're not very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Last time I said I was worried about Stray Kids' comeback. And yeah, I was somewhat right to be worried. We will talk about the title song in a bit, but apart from the title song, it's my least favorite album of theirs so far. You said you thought it was Dreamcatcher's weakest album. I think this is Stray Kids' weakest album, sadly. Yeah. Because I do like Circus, because I like the Japanese version, but apart from that, everything else is not memorable for me at all. Like, they range from forgettable to annoying.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have a few highlights, one of which I will talk about. But there are songs on the album that are really forgettable.
Right.
Like Chill and Super Bored are just so boring. I don't like Circus.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you a single thing about Can't Stop. I don't remember that song at all.
Same.
There's one that I really like that there's two that I really like that we're not going to be talking about. Give Me Your TMI and Three Racha are really cool. But I don't have much to say about them. I just enjoy them. Okay, so Case 143.
Yes, title song, Case 143.
Yes.
It's fun. It's unexpected. It's like the meme, never let them know your next move.
Yeah.
Both the song and the music video, the music video is insane too. So I like it. I love Jumpin's rap part. Obviously, I always love Felix's low vocals.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's fun. It's not my favorite Stray Kids title song ever. I also kind of have to be in the mood for this one. It's not one I listen to on repeat. But I like it. So yeah. It's the only song I like of the album.
I really like this, actually. This is the first title song by them that I like on first listen in a while. Yeah, I mean, because I like God's Menu, I like Maniac, I like the other songs that kind of fit this formula they have, but it took me a while.
Okay.
But Case 143, I just played it and I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I really like that they're doing a brighter style, but they're keeping their sound and identity, and it shows self-awareness and that they're aware that they're kind of turning a little formulaic, and they managed for me to keep their identity but also keep it fresh and do something new at the same time. So that's a really good sign for me and for the future of the group.
Yeah.
And I really, really like the concept behind the song.
Yes.
That it's their first love song, that's a title track, and they seem really confused and unsure, like in their lyrics. They're like, what's going on? Why do I keep feeling attracted and everything? And to me, the music really shows that too, because there's a lot of chromaticism. And that makes it feel really unstable and confusing. So I think that really fits with that.
Yeah, and it's fun how they turned it in the music video in this detective concept because they want to find out what's happening to them. So yeah, that's fun. It's a well thought through concept.
Yeah, exactly, which is always appreciated. And also just the fact that the song kind of goes in many different directions, because you have the brighter parts, the smooth pre-chorus, intense rap parts.
But I mean, what you just listed is kind of just their formula.
Yeah, but it works especially well here because it really fits that concept of like what's going on, and it's like they're using their chaotic song structure, I guess, in a really cool way.
Yeah.
And then the other song I love on the album is Taste. This was really a standout for me because it's so dark and kind of sultry, and I love anytime a song uses the organ, I'm really into that, and it really adds to the dark, creepy, eerie atmosphere and vibe of the song.
I have, again, similar feelings as you did with Dreamcatcher. This is like the opposite. Like, yeah. Because I only like the title song, but since you added this to the playlist, I started liking it a little more. But yeah, I think it's okay. It's a bit generic to me. Next we have The Astronaut by Jin.
Yeah, I have only one thing to say about this song.
Okay.
I don't like Coldplay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see. That's a problem for this song.
Yeah. It's just like, I just don't like Coldplay, so I was never gonna like this song.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it a lot. I'm pleasantly surprised. It fits his voice very well.
That's true.
Right? He's not the best vocalist of BTS, but this is perfect for him. And yeah, it is written and composed by Coldplay, so obviously it sounds very Coldplay-like. Yeah. And I see that obviously if you don't like Coldplay, that's not going to work for you. My sister, who is a huge Coldplay fan and whose BTS bias used to be Jin, freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
This might be controversial for German listeners.
Okay.
To me, it also sounds like so much like German Schlager. Which, it's kind of like what trot is to Korea is like Schlager to Germany.
Oh.
Except it's also like turned into party music. Like people go get drunk to Schlager. Yeah.
I'm discovering a whole new world.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out why it sounds so much like Schlager to me. And I don't mean this in a bad way at all, by the way. I know it's quite controversial because a lot of people don't like Schlager, but there are some amazing Schlager songs, and every genre has great songs, right? It's always fascinating to see how different genres have like similar aspects and bleed into each other. But yeah, I was trying to figure out why it sounds so much like Schlager to me, and I think it's a combination of the melody being relatively simple and repetitive. And the harmony in the second verse is so typical for Schlager. And his soft voice too. Like, it's that combination. So German speakers, do me a favor. Do this experiment. Replace the lyrics in the chorus with the German translation. And you'll see what I mean. But yeah, it's like a Schlager song written by Coldplay with Coldplay instrumentals. And in Korean with Jin's voice. So, like, what's not to like?
Well, I'm speechless after this. I don't even know what to say, but I'm happy for you because you seem really happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also think that like the friendship that developed between Coldplay and BTS is really sweet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Did you also watch a live performance?
No.
No, because you don't like Coldplay.
Yeah.
But yeah, because he performed at Coldplay's concert, right? And that was really sweet to see.
Yeah, I just wish that it wasn't Coldplay.
So what band should it have been for you so you would like it?
Oh my god. Arcade Fire. That's my favorite band ever. Or you know what? anyone from BTS had a song with Ghost, I would absolutely lose my mind.
That would be something.
Please give me satanic BTS. Let's move on to N-Flying's new album, Dearest. Do you have thoughts about the album as a whole?
Yeah, I do. They're very mixed. No, maybe not. I mean, okay, so I do like the album generally. But my issue with N-Flying is, maybe that's mean, I hope not, but to me there's no voice that is memorable.
Oh.
You know, like among the K-bands or like idol bands or whatever, there are some with a vocalist or vocalists that enables you to pick out their songs immediately out of thousands of songs, like FT Islet's Honky or The Rose's Usong. But N-Flying, I don't know if there's several vocalists or just one, but obviously they're good. That's not the issue. It's just that the vocals are not very unique. So if it's not an amazing song, nothing about it stands out, because there's a lot of K-bands like this, right? So it really depends on the song. I mean, obviously it always does, but even more in their case, because if it's not an amazing song, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree. I wouldn't really recognize the vocalist or vocalists, but they have such good songs on this album that I don't mind that they don't have a recognizable voice in there. Because to me, what's recognizable is the music, like the actual songs. So I'm really happy with this album.
Yeah, it's a good album. Do you like the title song?
Yeah, I Like You. The title song is really great.
It does nothing for me. This is exactly what I meant before. Like, this is one of the examples of their songs where it's I don't know, it's one of 1,000. It's not a bad song, but it sounds like 1,000 other K-band songs. So it's a very wrong choice for title song, in my opinion.
Oh, I disagree. I don't know. It just sounds, there's a part of the appeal for me that's unexplainable, but it just sounds kind of magical, and it just, like, the whole song, all of the elements of the song just come together to make something amazing. It's really bouncy and light. The offbeat rhythm really gives it that bounce, and the melodies are really nice and really catchy. So, like, the voice or the voices aren't grabbing me, but the melodies are.
I don't like it at all.
But do you like The Night?
I love The Night.
Oh, okay, good.
First of all, it's a waltz. I mean...
I know. I was going to say it's a waltz, so...
I always appreciate waltzes.
I had a lot of hope for this one.
Yes, it's a waltz. It has a beautiful melody. It could be straight out of a K-drama soundtrack, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds magical to me.
Yeah. That one actually does sound magical, because I Like You sounds like crap. But The Night does sound magical. And I think a big part of that is the waltz aspect, because that already sounds like fairy tale-ish.
Yes, exactly. The triple meter is really like you're just swinging and swaying slowly, and just that is already kind of nice and magical and dreamy. And then the melodies are so beautiful, and when you go from the verse to the chorus, it just really picks up, and it just it's amazing. It's so emotional and just magical and
beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so glad you like it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the one that you might actually like from this album.
It's actually not my favorite, though.
Oh.
Yeah, just one I like even more.
Okay, because the one I like maybe even more is Firefly. Because again, this is really light and bouncy, and so lovely. And it's still a little playful, but it's kind of darker. It has more of a darker vibe. And the melodies are really complex and meandering almost. But it's still really compelling at the same time. It's like the song is teasing you and like daring you to follow the melodies, even though they're hard. So it's kind of like you're trying to follow a firefly that's just flying in a weird pattern that's hard to follow, but you're just so compelled by it that you have to follow it, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I like it too. It's nice. It like the minor key stands out, and I think it's okay. I wouldn't list it as my favorite, but it's good. My favorite B-side is Shooting Star. I love it so much. It reminds me of FT Island. It's such a beautiful chorus, amazing guitars. The way the song is built, just every single part is perfect. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
I like this one too. It's not my favorite. Also, it feels like they brought a completely new vocalist on this one because the delivery is completely different.
I know, that's why.
But it's cool.
I feel like it is more, the vocals are more outstanding. Outstanding, not in a...
They stand out more?
Okay, yes, they stand out more in this one.
Yeah, because it's a lot more powerful and intense.
Exactly.
So, I mean, really cool.
Yeah.
I also really like it. It's much more rockier because the other ones were really soft and light and bouncy, but this is definitely more of a rock song, like actual rock song with cool guitars and everything.
Exactly. Okay, next up we have Last Man Standing by The Boys and Raiden. From what I know, it's a song for a Korean esports team. I love it so much. I don't have like that much to say about it, except that I love it and it's one of my highlights of the month.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I know. It's beautifully built, amazing raps too. I just want to listen to it on repeat all the time. But this is the song where I have a misheard lyric.
Oh, please tell me.
I kind of ruined it for me.
Oh no.
No, it didn't. I still love it, but you know the part in the chorus that says "I'll spread your ashes," and I like after not the first listen, but after a while, suddenly I heard "I'll spread your ass cheeks."
Oh no!
Now I can't unhear it.
Oh no! So for me, it didn't go that far, but every time I hear the "I'll spread," I'm like, what are you spreading? And so I guess, because I feel like it invites this misheard lyric.
Yes, and because sometimes, depending on who sings it, the ashes does kind of sound like ass. Yeah, that's why I...
Yeah, oh, yes, you ruined it for me. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you didn't ruin it for me because I like it, kind of, but it's nothing crazy for me. I really like the vibe and how dark and intense it sounds, but the only problem is for me, it like on paper, it's really cool, but it doesn't quite work. Because to me, it keeps building up and up and up in the verses and then the pre-chorus. But then when you get to the chorus, it never actually, like, it's always simmering and it never gets to boil over.
No, I like that in this one. I think that's part of the charm.
Yeah, I often do like that. We've said 100 times that we like more understated songs that do that. But here, to me, there's never, like, that tension is never released. And I wish it would at some point. Because then you get to the chorus and you lose all of that built-up tension. And then you kind of have to start over from the beginning. So... to me, it has potential, but it's missing a little something to really make it work. But I do like the atmosphere. I do like the sounds and the textures and everything. I like the idea, just not the execution 100%.
Yeah, I didn't mind it in this one that it doesn't like boil over in the chorus, as you said.
Next up, we have Don't Regret by 1-0. More like oh no.
Oh no, because it's amazing. I love it. He just doesn't disappoint.
He does disappoint. You finally disappointed me.
Nope, not me. It's so amazing. It's stuck in my head all the time, especially the Jolte Never part. I just love it so much. I just love him so much. His style is just so good and always on point. And I don't know, Don't Regret is melancholic but also hopeful, like the vibe.
Yeah.
And obviously sung with his beautiful, soothing voice. And it also has parts where you can just run away from everything. And it's so good. But yeah, I just love everything about this. And I love almost everything he does. And once again, he made me very happy. So yeah, I mean, we both have a huge soft spot for him, right?
Oh yeah.
And while it was sad that he had to leave Monster X, I think he was one of the best things that happened to the male solo world of K-pop in the last few years.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely one of my favorite male soloists ever. And the thing is, for this one song, I completely agree with everything you said, in the sense that it really fits with the rest of his music.
Yeah.
The vibe is cool. And all of the sounds and textures and everything really, it feels like it's been made by the same people. So it's not like, oh my god, he just had a song that has nothing to do with the rest of his discography. And I see what you mean, that it's melancholic but hopeful and everything. It's just, I just don't like it. But it's, you know, sometimes you can't really explain it. It's just not for you. So I really don't like it at all. And for me, it's the first time that he really fails, because the last song he had, I didn't like that much, but it was a Universe song.
Yeah, that didn't count.
So it's different. Yeah, and like Universe almost always sucks anyway. That's true. It's just not made by the same people. It's different. So it doesn't count. But so this is the first of his songs that I dislike. Okay.
Let's move on to the next one, which you will have a lot to say about, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Next we have Lee Chan-hyuk's debut solo album, Error.
Yes. All right, so this is an interesting one. Because I really like Akmu. I've liked them since they started. I think they have a really cool career, and they're really unique in K-pop because they're a sister-brother duo. He writes all of their songs and produces. I think he started producing later on, but now he produces their songs. He also produced and wrote her solo debut, Alien. And it's just really cool to see their evolution over the years and the way their music has changed. And I think I like their music more and more with each release too. Okay. So that's cool. So I was already pretty excited. And then I listened to the album, and it's really, really great. And I was like, wow, this is another album that sounds really cohesive sonically.
Yeah, it is a really great album.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And he, again, wrote and produced the whole thing. So it's really like his own work of art, basically. And then after I listened to the album and really liked it, I looked into it a little bit more, and this is a concept album about death. So, yeah, which is kind of unexpected when you've heard the songs. Yeah, so basically he said that like most songs that are released are about love, but that the one experience that we all go through is death. So we should talk about it more. Which, I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. And so apparently while he was creating the album, he asked himself, if he died right now, would he have any regrets? And so that's kind of the starting point of the reflection behind the album.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You'd never think that, because it's so poppy and upbeat. Well, not all songs, but like, I mean, I guess if you understand Korean, maybe you would get it. But since I don't, for the most part, it's more just about the music and less about the lyrics. I would have never thought that. Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really, really cool. Basically, throughout the whole album, each song is a new stage of his death, because the first one is eyewitness account, and that's the
accident?
it's a car accident. So basically he dies in a car accident, and then you see like panorama, I will talk about it more, but it's at the hospital, and then each song is further down the process, and the last song is Funeral Hope, and it's at his funeral. So, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another thing that's really interesting is some of the promotions for the album are almost performance art.
Okay.
So he had an interview where he didn't say anything. He was wearing a mask and sunglasses, and he didn't say anything at all. He didn't answer to the interviewers.
I was wondering if the interviewer was in.
They knew.
Oh, they knew. Okay, it would be really awkward.
I mean, it kind of is, but it's clear that they knew in advance because they just keep going. And he got a buzz cut while singing Panorama.
Oh, yeah.
On stage. And also he locked himself in a glass box and didn't move for a while, and then he sang Panorama.
Okay.
And I think there were other things like that. So it's really fun to see him just being his weird artistic self, I guess. Like, he doesn't care. He's doing his thing, so good for him.
Yeah.
And so the title song, Panorama, I think you will agree is very good.
Yes, it's great. I think, like, musically, I mean, at this point, I think it's known that we both like 80s sound, right? Mm-hmm. But what I found so fun is that this album took it to a whole new level. Like, he went all out with the 80s sound. Yeah. And it was just really fun, like really unapologetically all out. So yeah, I really like that. You could not add more of it if you possibly wanted.
No. And on a purely musical level, this song is really just amazing. And it could go on a music that makes me a sand playlist. It's just so enchanting and beautifully complex, but it's still really easy listening, and like it's not even fast, but it's so lively. So imagine my surprise when I learned that it's literally a song about him dying in the hospital.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, like the lyrics from the end of the first verse to the chorus say, there are people surrounding me, and that quack declares my broken body dead. I can't die like this. I need to try everything on my bucket list. My life was short and there is nothing left, and it passes by like a panorama. So pretty clear. Yeah. Like literally about dying, but it still sounds so bright and hopeful even.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously this is like a metaphorical death and kind of a sort of rebirth thing also. I mean, there are plenty of ways to interpret this, but I don't know, it's made me like the song even more, even though it's weird. I really appreciate the artistry, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
And then you added Time Stop.
Yes, it's my favorite song of the album. And now that you mentioned the whole death thing,
makes more sense.
I do kind of, because it is, despite being very poppy and very 80s, it is quite melancholic and almost sad in a way.
Yeah.
Like it has a beautiful melody, but it is quite heavy in a way also. That makes a lot more sense now. I mean, I guess I could have read the lyrics, but...
Yeah, but even like Time Stop, you could think it's just a love song, like, oh, I want more time with this person or whatever, but it's literally about him begging for more time because he doesn't want to die.
Oh,
so it is heavy.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
And at the same time, also fun, because like the instrumental is so fun with the as well.
I was gonna say, I love that.
It almost has a little like a Michael Jackson thing in the beginning of the song, that little sigh that Michael Jackson did as well. Yeah, it's it's a great song.
Yeah,
fun but sad.
Yeah, and it's also really like magical sounding, and like it's drowning in reverby synth. And it's just such a vibe. Yeah, I can't even describe how much I love these two songs and the whole album. I definitely agree that these are the two standout songs on the album. But there are, like, all of them have their own vibe, and like it changes throughout the album from more like harsh, intense music from like the actual Car Crash to this, which is way more fuzzy and blurry, to more emotional, slow songs after that. So like it fits the lyrics of each song, basically. Yeah. So I really, really recommend you listen to the whole album and read the lyrics and everything, because it's such a cool experience.
I mean, I would have already recommended to listen to the whole album before knowing that, but now, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I was never very into Akmu, but now that I heard his solo stuff, I am intrigued to maybe check them out some more.
Yeah, I think if you like this, you will probably like their album from last year.
Okay.
Like with Naka, with IU, and
I was gonna say I was the one where IU was featured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole album was pretty cool.
Okay, I will check it out.
So next is The Rose's new album, Heal.
Yes, that is one of my highlights of the month. The whole album, really. It was a very anticipated album because I'm not like in the fandom, so I don't know everything about them. But I think the Korean members were all in the military, which is why Usong was doing a lot of solo stuff. And so this is their first album after they all came back from the military. So there was a lot of anticipation, and unsurprisingly, the album is amazing. So far, my and I think a lot of people's favorite album of theirs was Dawn, which came out in 2018. But this, to me, might even top it.
I don't know. I like it, but it's weird. I like it overall, but I have nothing to say about the songs. Okay. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Sour. I completely see the appeal, but that's just one that's not really for me. It's also why Childhood, which I think is probably my favorite song, ended up in the 3-word section last month, because I love this song to death. It's amazing. It's so beautiful, but apart from, and that's the case for all of the songs, apart from how beautiful and emotional and moving and obviously well crafted they are, I have nothing else to say. I'm just in awe and just happy listening to them.
I mean, that's enough, right? You don't always we don't always have to have a lot to say. Because honestly, same a little bit. Like, I don't have a ton to say about the specific songs, but the whole album is just a masterpiece. And so beautiful, such gorgeous songs. I mean, Usong's voice is always amazing. The title song, Sour, is beautiful. When I heard it, I was like, okay, this must be the best song of the album. But no, because Cure is a 12 out of 10. Like, the way the chorus first is only acoustic, and then halfway through the electric guitar and drums come back in, and then before the oh part, it really hits. It's so amazing. It's like very 2000s rock. I am floored.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and it you can't listen to this and not feel like be moved, and the song just takes you with it whether you want to or not. Like, I really love it too.
And then Time as well, amazing. Again, really beautiful. The instrumental is gorgeous. But yeah, again, I also don't have like a ton of intricate things to say about it. This too is an album, like you said, that is really cohesive and well crafted. The whole album is just great as a whole, and exactly my style.
Yeah. And it's so deeply The Rose.
Yes.
This is definitely an album where you can listen to any song on the album and be like, oh, this is The Rose.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. Amazing. Really happy about this one.
Yeah, it just feels kind of... It also like feels like a work of art.
Yes.
And yeah.
It's just like all 3 songs that are on our playlist, like immediately went on my best of list for the year.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's not necessarily a sound I really enjoy most of the time, but like that's their sound. They've always had that sound, but they've also always had songs that I love. And I'm like, how? Like, She's in the Rain is one of the best songs to ever exist. Yes. They just always make it work.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to something that didn't work for me. That is 3D Woman by Jamie.
Yeah, no surprise here.
Yeah, I really don't have a lot to say. I don't like it. And I can't really say why, because when I listen to it again, it's not really anything where I'm like, oh, it's this thing that I hate, or it's that thing that I hate. There's just something about it that annoys me.
That's what I expected it to be for me, because I listened to the album highlights a few days before it came out and was like, oof, I'm not gonna like this album. And then I still checked out 3D Woman and I was really surprised, but I really like it. Because I was scared that it would be like, I'm sorry, but kind of trashy, hype, YOLO, swag, whatever. And it kind of is.
Yeah.
But somehow it still works. I think it's because there's the cool kind of metallic synth and kind of a retro vibe, but at the same time it sounds really futuristic. And the mix of these really cool elements just make it work and make it fall into like sleek, cool, confidence boosting music rather than trash, I guess. Also, it's kind of like sexy and sultry, and that's nice. It's kind of a guilty pleasure, but I really enjoy it.
Good for you, I guess.
Next up is Idol's new album, I Love, which sadly I didn't love.
I did.
But you did. Yeah.
Well, maybe I love would be a little too much, but I like a lot.
You liked.
Yes.
Idol's new album, I like.
Yes. I'm not the biggest fan of the title song, Nude.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I appreciate the lyrics and the idea behind it and the burlesque like sound as well as the music video. But sometimes Soyeon's voice is just too annoying for me, and this song is one of those cases, and the song already starts with her sounding like that, and I'm like, yeah, please don't.
Yeah, agreed. I really like the idea, but to me it feels unfinished for some reason. It feels like a first draft. There are too many elements that could work together, but that clash, and with more work, like with another draft or maybe more, it would have been able to be blended together in a cool way. But as it is now, I don't really like it. I don't think it's catchy. The only part to me that's really catchy and it's stuck in my mind nonstop is the "Hello, my name is Yappy Yappy Oh," and that's it. I sang that wrong, but that's fine. But it's stuck in my mind all the time, and so I just end up singing this one line over and over, so it's really annoying.
Yeah, for me it's not really that I think the song sounds unfinished or anything. I think it's a unique song with an interesting concept. I just can't get over Soyeon's part. I just no. Yeah. But then the whole mini album is actually really good. I liked every single song. Idol have impressed me this year because from the album they released in March, I also liked every single song. So yeah, I would say this is a really cohesive, well put together album. And my favorite B-sides that I wanted to point out are Love and Reset. They're both super nice, but quite different. because Love is more like a bit more badass, while Reset is really beautiful. And I think with their album, while it's cohesive, it also shows how versatile they are and shows off their talent. If you ignore Nude was that part, but the rest of the album, I really enjoy listening to the whole thing, and I think it's very nice.
It's funny because I don't really agree. To me, the only thing that really ties the songs together is how generic and boring they all are. Like, this whole album does nothing for me.
Okay. Well, next up, we have another one I'm really happy about. Next, we have Birthday by 10.
Yeah. I don't dislike it. It's nice. It's sultry. And it's definitely going in the NCT Ho Anthem box. But I don't think it's that memorable for me, so I'm probably not gonna play it outside of that specific NCT Ho Anthem playlist.
I would actually say it almost goes in the Taemin Ho Anthem. Yeah. Corner.
Yeah, there's a definite SM sound.
Yes,
here.
I am so happy about this comeback. 10 is so talented, and his talent is currently being wasted by SM. It's like Wave, his last comeback was in March 21. His last solo release was in August 21. Super M are currently inactive. The last time he had anything to do really was with NCTU in December 21, but that was also almost a year ago. So he's so talented, and I wish he was able to release more music. And I mean, he's an incredible dancer, and I love his voice as well, especially his falsetto is beautiful. And Birthday really hit me. I was not expecting that. It's so sexy and sensual. The music video is gorgeous. The dance is incredible. He looks gorgeous. It's almost, like I said, almost on the level of a Taemin solo. Because, Taemin also has a lot of Ho songs. And yeah, it's just so good. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
And I really hope he can release a whole mini album soon.
Yeah.
And because like all of Wave, he deserves a lot better, to be honest. I hate what is currently happening with them. Next up is Kwon and B's new album, Lethality.
Again, I think this is one where you don't have much to say.
Yeah. I will say that Underwater, the title song, is my favorite title song of hers so far. It's good. It's really good, but I don't have many particular things to say. And then the other two songs, even less. So, yeah.
So you don't dislike it, you're just...
Oh, I mean, when we get to one of the other songs, I have negative things to say.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Okay, well. Because I like the album. I think it's a really cool album in general. Again, well-crafted and cohesive, all of that. Underwater, I think for me is kind of the proof that she's really found her niche or her vibe. I think she's really great on more EDM songs, whatever kind of EDM it is, because she's had different styles of EDM, like sub-genres, I guess. And that always works better for her. The past few comebacks she's had than the songs that she started with weren't really great. She's really great on this one, vocally amazing. I love it. And it's just a really cool song. Really fun and engaging and exciting. It's got great pace and enough gravitas, I guess, amongst the fun too. So it's a really good mix of great things. It's kind of tropical, and I actually really like it, so I'm very confused. It's not the only song on the album that's kind of tropical, and I like it, so I'm very surprised. But I like the 2022 version of Tropical better than the one from a few years ago. This is kind of And the music video especially is kind of giving dark Little Mermaid vibes, and I am here for that.
Yeah, Underwater I like a lot. It's a really good song. But yeah, and that's all I have to say. Yes.
Cookie is the one that I feel like you might not like as much.
I despise it.
Okay, yeah, it has the sound.
It combines everything I hate.
Yeah.
It is that cheap club sound I hate, and dissonant xylophones, which I also hate. So it's like someone had the task to write a song specifically to torture me, and they did.
Yeah, I see that for you, sadly. I really enjoy it. I think this is kind of the more fun, less serious version of Underwater. It's really light and kind of dreamy and kind of playful and sweet. And yeah, that tropical vibe is here too, and I like it.
That's okay.
And then High, I think, is again very coherent with the rest of the songs, but it also sounds a little bit different because it starts really sweet and light again, but then you get a little bit more meat in the chorus and it picks up a little bit, and I really love that anthem-y rock vibe in the chorus and the ascending melody and backings. It's just really fun and kind of addicting.
High is okay. I actually added it to my playlist, so I will listen to it again. But again, I have even less to say about this one.
Yeah. Next up we have Roykem's new album, Comma End.
Yes. I guess that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have a lot or anything to say about it.
No, because this is a ballad album.
Yes.
And I think I've been vocal enough about how I feel about ballads.
Yes. So I wanted to talk about this album because, well, yeah, he's mostly a ballad singer, and it's been a while since he released a full album or even a mini album. The last few years, he mostly just released singles for like a soundtrack of a K-drama. So I think 2017 was the last time he released a mini album, and from 2020 to 21 he was also in the military, so it's been a while. So yeah. I was really curious when I saw he released a full album, and it turns out it is really, really good. I like almost every single song on the album, which I did not expect at all, because often when we check out ballad singers these days, the ballads are really boring. Like, I love ballads, but I also really hate when ballads are boring. And these ballads aren't boring at all. Like, it has such gorgeous, soaring songs on it. I added my 2 favorites to the playlist, but if you're someone who's into like classic Korean ballads, make sure to check out the whole album. Yeah, I added Take Me Back in Time, and I should have. Not just because they're my favorites of the album, but also because they're quite different. Take Me Back in Time is like the classic emotional Korean ballad. It was a great climax. Seriously, it's so amazing and gripping. But then I Should Have is, on the other hand, it's just his voice, a guitar, and a cello. I love cellos. And it's so beautiful. It's not boring at all. Again, it really struck a heartstring for me, and it really calms me down in a very positive way. Like it's very slow, and like a cello can be very somber and like sad, but it's not sad. It doesn't bring you down. It brings you like a peaceful calmness, almost like this is what I imagine peacefully dying would be like.
That's the name of the episode.
It's like peacefully falling asleep. I don't know. I love it. It's gorgeous. 10 out of 10.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really impressed with this album, because a lot of times with like ballad singers, it's more of a miss than a hit for me, because a lot of ballads are boring. But these are like really beautiful and intricate, and it's a really good album. So if you're into ballads, and if you're into Korean ballads, which can be quite different than like English power ballads, go check it out. The whole album is great.
I will say I Should Have better, because Take Me Back in Time is like exactly the kind of ballads, like Korean ballads, that I
because it's like a classic Korean ballad. Yeah, you have to like that kind. If you,
and to me it's usually way too over the top and melodramatic. But I wish I could enjoy this album. I just don't. It's just not for me.
I did not expect you to.
Yeah.
I knew you would not like that, but I love it.
Ooh, that brings us to the end of the discussion.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go with the 3-word section, and the first song is Get Out by Pink Fantasy.
I have Halloween Playlist Edition.
And I have Creepy Crunchy Fun.
Then we have When I Get Old by Christopher and Chonga.
Fun to sing.
And I have Doesn't Get Old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then we have Danny by Lee Chaeyeon.
I have Cute But Generic.
I have Sleek 80s Perfection.
Oh. Next we have Boys Like You by ITZY.
Discount Taylor Swift Love Story.
Oh.
Yeah.
I swear. Okay. I have Keeps Getting Better.
What? Okay. Then we have Dance On by Alice.
I have Twice Like Fun.
I have
Talented, brilliant, incredible.
Oh, okay. Next we have Joyride by Kang Daniel.
A very accurate title.
Oh. I have Not His Best.
Then we have Naza Babara by Rolling Quartz.
Me liking Rolling Quartz?
And I have Wish I Liked.
Next we have Still Here by One Wee.
A quintessential One Wee ballad.
I have Slow Motion Soaring.
And finally we have Ilela by Mamamoo.
I have If I'm Drunk.
And I have Why Oh Why. Okay, so what are your 5 favorites of the month?
My highlights are Last Man Standing by The Boys and Drayden.
Expected.
Cure by The Rose. Birthday by 10. Shooting Star by Anne Fly.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And Hello by Treasure.
Mine are Panorama by Lee Chan-hyuk, Hello by Treasure, Vision by Dreamcatcher, Stray Kids' Case 143, and Antifragile by The Seraphim.
Oh, we only share one. Okay.
Yeah. And I've had a little look at the songs that will be coming out next month.
Same.
Personally, well, I'm really excited about 80s, because even though it's a Japanese comeback, it will be my first comeback as a fan, so I'm really excited. And Kara are having their 15th anniversary album, so that's cool.
I know, it's going to be exciting. I mean, I hope it will be better than EXID's 10th anniversary.
I know, for sure. I have more faith in Kara.
Me too. I'm also somewhat excited. Well, I'm excited because I like them about Highlight's comeback.
Yeah, same.
But I don't have much hope because, their last few weren't really my thing.
Yeah, no, they had a few songs that I liked, but I wouldn't say I'm confident that it will be great. But I'm excited to see where they're gonna go.
Yeah.
Also excited to see where extraordinary heroes are going to go, because they have potential, but they haven't quite realized it yet. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do, basically.
I'm not excited about that at all. Not even curious.
You're just gonna ignore.
Yeah. I'm also curious but not hopeful about the Victims' comeback.
Oh.
But you said Red Velvet are coming back too, right?
Yeah, they announced a few days ago. I think they're coming back at the end of the month. So I'm really excited. And other than that, there's a few other like big-ish names.
But not as many as were announced for September and October, I feel like.
It's
more like smaller groups.
Yeah, like mid-tier groups.
Yes,
in terms of popularity, not necessarily
exactly.
Quality. I have hope for this month. I'll say it, even though it's dangerous. I have more hope for this month than I did for October.
Really? Because I had a lot of hope for October. I'm not having much hope for November.
I don't know. I'm choosing to believe that after the of October, like okay, but nothing crazy, then we'll have a really like truly amazing month. This is a lot of pressure.
I mean, that would be amazing because we've had 2 months now that weren't exactly great.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yes. Once again, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you'll be back for our next episode, which is what?
The drunk lore episode, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yes, I can't wait for this one. As always, don't forget to rate the podcast if you liked it, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at K-popinions podcast. Talk to you very soon. In the meantime, take care. Bye.
Bye.